Welcome to Fri-Yay's edition of Good Morning North Coast. I'm Taryn Woods, your anchor, taking you through this morning's show. I'm joined this morning by Tony Subramony, who will be sharing his daily inspiration with us as we end off this week. We are into mind, body, and soul discussions with Virginia Berger from Yoga in Virginia, based here in Salt Rock. And I'm looking forward to hearing the ways in which we can create a sense of calm in our busy lives. It's the 49th birthday celebrations with South Africa's favorite family restaurant group, Mike's Kitchen, as I chat to Dominic, the general manager at Mike's Kitchen Salt Rock, about the history and the brand and the great deals in store for the customers this month. Audiologist Linda Vorster is in the studio to discuss her business and the importance of looking after one's most valuable assets, our hearing. Zoe is in for a weekly entertainment segment and welcomes Josh Philander to Good Morning North Coast this morning. It is all things sport with Matt Williams, and it's over to Heili Uys Deon for the weather surf report and the weekend ahead. Josh Philander closes our show today with a live performance. Thereafter it's over to our beautiful Laugh Out Harry for the kids. Morning, Tony. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Good. It's so good to be back in studio with you. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while, yeah. Well, this morning we're talking about a very interesting topic. It's something that we really don't want to talk a lot about. It's validation on social media.
Oh, you know, that is most definitely one.
You know, we're all, being social beings. We want to have, acknowledgement from people. We want to interact with people, but there has to be a limit to how much we're actually putting out on social media. If you're not enough without another like, then you're not going to be good enough for one more, or two more, or three more.
Yeah.
And this is something that worries, because you can become so addicted to social media. And with the lockdown and all the other stuff that's been going on in the country and the places around us, that's become a very, very big concern. And I think the viewers need to understand that there is hope even after all of that this is taking place.
Most definitely.
And validation is basically, we're going out, putting out whatever we put out on social media, and our lives are controlled and dictated by the number of likes or RTs we're receiving. And how many people are disillusioned and disappointed if they're not getting the number that they got yesterday and the day before?
True. So true. And also, sorry to, but I've also found that, with the younger generation, they try and act older and they try and look a certain way and their filters and it's all for likes. And, the depression goes hand in hand with all of that as well.
Yeah, you talk about the filters and all the other apps that are available to actually spruce you up. And what are we saying to the public? What are we saying to ourselves?
Yeah.
We're not authentic, we're not genuine.
No.
And what our messages are we carrying to those that are going to be watching this on social media, and our children and grandchildren as well? So the idea is to actually limit the amount of time you're spending on social media. That's number one, is to actually look at being very conscious as limiting the time. When you're on social media, set it out for 20 minutes, right? And also your intention has to be one that's based on what do you want to put out there. You need to be very genuine about the intention.
Yeah, it gets quite dangerous too, doesn't it?
Yes, and with all the stuff that's happening on social media, one has to be very, very careful as well. Yeah. The idea is to go within rather than out. Like yourself from within you. Every single one of us is a wonderful human being. There's awesomeness within every one of us. We're not going to find it in social media. We're not going to find it in the likes and the RTs that we're getting. Because the day you don't get it is the day you're going to have really a bad day. And that's not fair on you.
No, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So the idea here also is to go back and look at what is your self-talk. What are you saying to yourself every day you're getting a like or you're not getting those likes, right? Also get used to face-to-face communication again, like we used to have in those days. Go back and enjoy that time as well too. When we're sitting down to a meal, how many of us are actually sitting down to our phone with a meal next to us?
Oh, no, I think everyone is guilty of that. It's terrible how times have changed.
Right. So we've got to look at what is the purpose of that as well, too. The other idea is also to look at affirmations that will give you the feel-good feeling throughout the course of the day. And we talked about this on many occasions as well, too. So, come up with an affirmation that gives you the opportunity to look at your potential, what you're worth, and your authenticity as well. And I'm hoping that the viewers will use this weekend to start decluttering all of that day. What purpose is social media playing in our lives?
Well, I think that's a really good thing for everyone to do. And I mean, if you go and declutter your social media, you actually feel a lot better about yourself.
Yes.
And the perception that you're giving yourself out to those out there as well.
Yes.
And like you said, that self-affirmation works hand in hand with validation.
Yes.
And if you don't feel good and if you don't look good, you don't get the likes, I mean, you crash.
Yes.
You're addicted to your phone.
Oh,
you want to
yes.
look, who's looking, who is it, who's that?
Yeah.
And if the right person doesn't like, what have I done wrong? Or if
Yes.
the wrong person
Yes.
likes your stuff,
Yes.
oh boy, it's a roll-on effect as well
Absolutely.
between friends. And
Yeah.
it just becomes horrible.
And we spend the entire day becoming so critical of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, if I
Yeah.
dress smart, why am I not getting the kind of affirmations or the validation from social media like I used to get?
Yeah.
So it's a real bad day because you're not getting that confirmation coming
Yeah.
through.
No,
So
most
the idea I
definitely.
want to share today is to turn this around and look at the potential, look at your awesomeness within you, and let that prevail rather than what you're getting from social media.
No, I most definitely agree with you there, Tony. I know I personally did a massive cleanup about a few months back as
Awesome.
well. And, you just feel so relieved and so
Yeah.
good. And you don't have to show everyone what you're doing on social media either. You
Yes.
don't have to pick up your phone and phone your friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You don't have to show the world what you're up to.
Yeah.
I mean, you need some privacy as well, surely.
Exactly, exactly.
You know? You don't
Yeah.
want people walking around knowing everything about
Yeah.
you.
And the last thing I want to say, Taryn, is when you don't get the validation, you live with it alone. You don't share that with anyone. You're not saying that I'm not having a good day or I'm having a bad day because of this and this. You
No.
kind of just internalize that.
That's true.
And what message are you giving yourself? That I'm not good
Not good
enough.
enough, yeah.
You know, I'm not worth it. I'm not,
Yeah.
the kind of awesome person I should be because someone else did not validate me today.
It's so sad how,
Yeah.
how
So
that
we've got to
can
just
take-
be very cautious. Yes, put out the pictures, but be
Yes.
mindful of what the purpose is, what the intention is.
I like
That's
that,
crucial.
Tony. Thank you, Tony.
So that's my message for today
Such
and
a
for
nice
the week.
message for the ahead of the weekend
Yes.
as well. Tony, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Really
Taryn.
loved having you in studio once again. It's been great.
Good to have you back.
Lito, there you have it. Go clear up your clutter on social media. It's all about validation and affirmation. You don't need to find it in anyone else but yourself. We're going to head off to a quick ad break, and then after that, we'll be back with Virginia Berger from Yoga in Virginia. Network Collections was established in 2016 with a management team that has over 40 years experience in recovery. With processes that are unique, it is no secret that Network Collections outperforms our competitors. We have a national footprint, and due to our contingency basis, that means no risk to you. You need to ask the question, why have you not contacted us already? Using our national footprint combined with TT1 as well as TT3 transactions on the DebiCheck platform, we achieve consistent payments within 60 days from handover. All handovers are electronic and no paperwork is required. Our relationship-driven approach allows for a reduced cost solution that rehabilitates and activates one of your business' biggest assets, your debtors book. With more than 500 agents countrywide, the methodology of personal contact with debtors rather than phoning or forcing approach, it is no wonder our success rate is above the rest. Our drive is to take your debtors book and turn your loss into a profit. We are affiliated with MFSA, ADRA, and the Council for Debt Collectors. With our national footprint, no debtors book is too big or too small. Allow us to activate your debtors book and turn your loss into a profit. Welcome back to our Good Morning North Coast show on Belito TV. Just want to say hello to Colin Sampson. Thank you so much for joining in today. We really appreciate your support. Good morning, Virginia. How are you this morning?
Very well, thank you.
Oh, I'm glad to have you in the studio, Virginia. Yoga, this is our topic
Yes.
this morning. Yoga is an amazingly big, I want to say sport, yet not really a sport, that is progressively growing within especially the Belito area, but within the country even.
Yes.
Do you want to touch base about who you are, where you're from, and what is it that you do?
Sure. So I'm based in Salt Rock, and it's Yoga with Virginia, and I teach specifically Hatha and Yin yoga, more because it's a very gentle yoga, and it just helps you to connect with yourself holistically. So we bring in mindfulness, you bring in breath work, which is so important because a lot of people don't even know how to breathe or forget how to breathe, especially when you're going through a depression or anxiety, or if you're stressed at work, you forget to breathe. So the breathing is so important. And then also obviously the physical side of the yoga, which is so important because it also helps to ground us. You know, with all that's going on in the world, we tend to be influenced by the outside world, whereas with yoga, you go in.
Yeah.
And it's so important to just connect with yourself, connect to the earth, the universe, and to better understand yourself. And yoga helps you with that. So it's very much a holistic aspect, and anybody can do yoga. And I work with children, I work with elderly people. My oldest client was 80 years old.
That is amazing.
Work with people who've had hip replacements. And what I must say, which is really fantastic, which I am seeing, is a lot of chiros, doctors, surgeons are actually recommending yoga more, which is so good to see.
Yeah.
And so good to get that support. It's very much a validation. And if you also look at it from a scientific perspective, you know, you can Google and you can see how effective yoga is with research. So it also proves the benefits of yoga. You know, just to give you a few, for example, it helps you with endurance, with your flexibility, with strength. It helps you with balance, and balance is so important, especially as we get older. People tend to lose their balance.
If you're in a core strength.
Yes, very much core strength. And also, again, you know, just bringing you back to the breath, and also helps you to almost reset, to just take a break, pause, you know, and connect to who you are as a person. I find, specifically in the evening when I teach yin yoga, people will come in and you can just see they are so stressed. And at the end of the class, they are just so relaxed. You can actually see the change in their body. They're just letting go of all that tension, negativity, regrounding, just connecting to, as Tony said earlier on, who they are. Just connect with who you are as a person, because we all have innate well-being.
Of course.
And it's just getting back to that.
I know you mentioned the two different types of yogas. For those that don't know, do you mind just explaining what the difference is?
Yeah, sure. So Hatha is the basis of all yoga, because there are so many different styles of yoga, and all yoga is good for you. You need to find which style resonates with you, because there's very hard athletic yoga, which is, for example, Vinyasa, Ashtanga yoga, and then there is Kriya yoga, which is more healing yoga. The Yin is very much a healing yoga. So the Yin, it's different to Hatha. The Yin, we work with the upper and the lower body meridians. It's more Chinese based. So you're working with opening up all your energy channels in the body, but you stay in one posture for 5 minutes. So you find the stillness in a posture. So that brings in the mindfulness, the breathing, and also just gets you to reconnect to yourself as a person. And with the fascia, we as people, we hold everything in our myofascia, which is the fascia. So your fascia in the body keeps everything in place in the body, surrounds your organs, your muscles. It's one big band that goes around your body. So when we do Yin, we actually releasing anything we've held emotionally in our body. So you're releasing that with the Yin. And the Hatha is more a warm, bit of a faster yoga, but also calmer. So for example, we'll be more flexible in your hips, have better mobility in your shoulders. We tend to be locked in our shoulders, creates more mobility there, or releasing mobility around your neck, or even your hamstrings. For example, if you've got tight hamstrings, you'll usually have lower back issues, or maybe tight quads will impact on your hips too.
Yes.
So we work with areas where you are maybe restricted in mobility.
Sure, I think I should come for that. But I'm not that flexible. So those out there, I know a few friends that, we're not flexible, we can't do yoga. How do you need to be flexible in order to do yoga?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, we teach you, with practice, you become more flexible. But it is a journey, you know, it's just basically being consistent and enjoying what you're doing. You know, that's why I said find a style that suits you.
Yes.
But usually at the end of a class, I worked with men who've come into a class and they weren't able to touch their toes or just reach slightly forward. And at the end of the class, they're able to have more flexibility, they're able to have better range of motion, and be able to actually reach their feet. So it's just, you know, your muscles are like an elastic band. It's just slowly stretching that. And knowing the right postures to do to be able to create that flexibility.
And how many times a week, in order to get that flexibility, should one actually do yoga?
Well, I would say not less than twice a week.
Okay, wow,
Yes.
okay. And then, I know we just spoke about the men. Back in the day, men never did yoga. And I mean, if you look on social media, progressively, more and more guys are getting into it. Do you also find that's the case here?
Very much so. I work a lot with couples. I
Yes.
have a few couples who come through and they love the yoga. They do it together in the evenings. And I've also worked with a few men, specifically, for example, with sport-related issues, for like with golf, wanting to create better motion or flexibility. People who are maybe suffering from autism or ADD or a bit of stress from work, they come and then they're able to just ground themselves.
Sure, and children especially. I mean, you know, every child has now got ADD or autism, or every child is categorized into something lately. You know, it's just the, I don't know, the misperception of kids lately. For yoga and children, the correlation between the two, have you found quite a big difference, the effect that it has on a child's life and then the performance at school, for instance?
Very much so. There are a lot of really good yoga teachers too that teach you know, children's yoga specifically, and the benefits have been amazing. You know, at a lot of the junior schools, before and after, the kids are just more able to cope with the work pressure or just with life in general, especially with what we've gone through with COVID. And obviously recently in South Africa, and it's had a huge benefit for them mentally,
For the
emotionally,
kids,
and just physically too. A lot of kids don't have the strength, so it's also teaching them to have that strength.
That's absolutely, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'd most definitely recommend that for children. I mean, if you think of the roll-on effect that it has, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing.
Yes, and also for elderly people too. You know, you can do chair yoga. You don't have to be on the floor. They can actually do yoga in a chair, which also helps them. And people suffering from osteoporosis.
Yeah, because that's quite a popular disease as well.
And any back-related issues, yoga will help someone with any tight lower back issues. But obviously, you know, if they're suffering with different conditions, then you need to obviously work around that.
Absolutely amazing. It's almost like a one-stop shop. You don't need a physio or a chiro or anymore. Thank you so much, Virginia, for joining us today. I really took a lot out of this, and I really do think those out there that didn't know the benefits of yoga, I mean, just the perception of you have to be flexible, just to kind of learn and see what there is and all the benefits of it. We really appreciate you being in studio with us today. Please give a follow. Are you on Instagram before?
On Facebook, it's just Yoga with Virginia KZN in SA, and I've got my own website, www.yogawithvirginia.co.za, and then I'm also in Salt Rock. I've got a little studio in Osborne Drive, and cater to anybody.
And
so
group bookings, are we welcome to do group bookings?
Definitely. I do conference work and events too, yes.
Thank you so much for having me. Only a pleasure. Thank you for being in studio. We're going to go to a quick ad break, and then afterwards we'll be speaking to Dominic from Mark's Kitchen. We'll be right back.
I'm Monet.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Devin.
And we are
Belito TV.
We are a streaming channel showcasing content-rich programming that appeals to a wide audience.
Belito TV officially launched on the 1st of February 2021 and has already attracted over 500,000 viewers worldwide.
Viewers are able to select their preferred device and way in which to watch Belito TV, either live on our Facebook page, our website, YouTube channel, or by downloading our app free from the Play Store.
Best of all, if you've missed one of our shows, catch up at your own convenience by visiting our catch-up platform on our website and our app.
Belito TV offers a variety of advertising from as little as 1,000 Rand. So the misconception that advertising through this medium is out of reach for most businesses is totally incorrect.
Get in touch today by emailing hello@belito.tv or send your name and details to our WhatsApp line on 066 232 1385 and we will give you a call.
Good morning, Carla Welsh. Thank you for joining us on Facebook this morning. It's so good to see our support. Hope you're having a beautiful start to your day as well. With me in studio, we've got Dominic from Mark's Kitchen. Morning, Dominic. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Lovely having you here today. So Mark's Kitchen is a family restaurant. I mean, it's been around for years and we're all quite familiar with Mark's Kitchen.
Indeed.
Tell us, I know it's 49th birthday month, 49th birthday this month.
Yes, that's correct. It is our 49th birthday. And yeah, we're currently running two specials, 200 gram sirloin steak and chips for 49 Rand, as well as chicken schnitzel and chips for 49 Rand.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it is.
And is it during the whole day? No
That
peak
is
hours?
running for the entire month of September.
Oh, fantastic.
And yeah.
That'll
it's
definitely
good.
pull a lot of people through, guys. It's delicious and it's
It is.
cheap. We need to go support Mark's Kitchens.
Indeed.
And any new things coming to the menu?
So within the next couple of weeks, we're going to be launching new cocktails, uniquely done cocktails.
Really?
And yeah, even if you don't drink alcohol, you can have them as virgins. And yeah, probably within the next month or so, we're also going to be introducing vegan meals into our menu.
Sure, that's fantastic.
Yeah, for those who like to eat very healthy. And yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not one of those,
Yeah,
but
okay.
I do support those that are in that. And the vegan menu, how big and broad will it be, or is it quite select?
It's going to be a bit selective. I'll leave it for the launch. But there will be good options for
That's
them.
fantastic,
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. And I mean, Mark's Kitchen always pulls families together. I mean,
Absolutely, yeah. We are a very proudly South African brand, so very family orientated. We have fantastic kiddies areas so that the parents can sit and eat while the kids go and play.
always a
So, yeah.
bonus. And kiddies parties, do you host
Yeah,
them?
we
Can
host
they
kiddies
book them
parties
out?
as well. Yeah, you know, phone, make a booking, we can put it together for you.
Oh, absolutely amazing. I mean, look, I do know it does get full.
Yeah, it
so
does, yeah.
reservations, especially in this birthday month, might
Absolutely,
be key as
Exactly.
well. And delivery, do the specials carry on for
So we do
delivery?
a call and collect, but yeah, so you can phone in.
And the
place
birthday
your order.
special will also
The
be
birthday
fine
special is
for-
included in
Oh, that
the
is fantastic
takeaway,
because
yeah.
most people don't do that. They
Yeah,
want you to
they
come
don't.
into store, so that's a fantastic benefit as well.
Exactly.
So absolutely fantastic. Dominic, and I know you've also been around. Tell me a bit about yourself. What is your background?
Okay, so I've pretty much been in the hospitality industry for probably since the age of 18.
Gee,
Yeah, I've been in KZN for the last 6 years and going very well. So it's what I love, it's my passion.
absolutely amazing. Where are you from originally that you were?
From Alberton in
Okay,
Johannesburg.
so
Yeah.
we've stolen you. Fantastic. It's a
indeed.
bit of a better change, isn't it?
Yes, exactly, yeah. But I do prefer it down here. So.
No, of course, and the weather as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
And I think the camaraderie in Velito too is just a bit of a different league, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're allowed to say that, aren't we?
Yeah, we can.
We'll be biased like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Dominic, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
Oh, and I just want to know your before we go, sorry, your branches in KZN. How
Yes.
many are there currently?
So we
and-
have two branches in KZN, one at Salt Rock at the Mount Richmond Centre and
Yes.
one in Umhlanga at Park Square.
At Park Square. Oh, that's been it, guys. We've got two options, and obviously specials running nationally.
Yes, it is, running nationally.
Okay, so for those of you watching from anywhere else in South Africa, please support Mark's Kitchens this month. The specials are absolutely amazing. Bring your kids, book out party venues. You definitely won't regret it. You'll be saving lots of money and will most definitely be having a good time. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Dominic.
so
we
much.
appreciate you being in studio with us this morning.
Only a
We'll see you
pleasure.
at Mark's Kitchens.
Definitely, thank you.
We're going to go to a quick ad break, and then afterwards we'll have Linda Vorster from Linda Vorster Audiology with us in studio. We'll be right back. I know it goes dry, doesn't it? Off.
The importance of certified, compliant and good working fire equipment can mean the difference between your insurance claim being successful or rejected. All insurance companies insist on fire equipment compliance before business or buildings can be insured. Here we have BrokerSure leading the way by setting an example to others. Well-maintained fire equipment is the key to an insurance claim in the event of fire damage. HASPAC being SABS and SAQCC accredited and certified are well positioned to serve, maintain and provide new quality fire equipment such as fire extinguishers, hose reels and hydrants. Fire extinguishers, hose reels and hydrants require annual service and maintenance by law to be compliant. HASPAC offer these services through highly qualified technicians and a modern state-of-the-art workshop. HASPAC take the time and effort to remind their valued clients on an annual basis, taking the responsibility and worry away from the client through their up-to-date software systems. Haspac offer quick and easy replacement services to ensure you, your business are protected and abiding to the laws. Remember, commercial locations have strict laws governing them with regards to fire safety regulations. Call us. Make sure you and your business are compliant.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning North Coast here on Belito TV. We just want to say thank you for joining us and thank you for listening and thank you for everyone supporting us. Sharon Sinclair, thank you so much for having Karen Landman, baie dankie dat jy inleer met ons vanoggend. And Santos, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Linda, welcome. Thank you so much for being on here with us this morning.
Yes, it's only a pleasure and thank you for having me.
No, it's great having you here. For those that don't know, you obviously have an audiology practice.
Yes, yes.
What is the importance of hearing?
So, you know, I always say it's so important to have your hearing tested from the age of 45 and up.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we get used to not hearing that well and we actually start to make excuses. For example, we would say that someone is, we would accuse someone of mumbling, you know, it's always someone else.
That's good to know.
So, you know, they'd say, you know, stop mumbling, speak clearly, or they'll turn up the TV, or, you know, they'll ask people to repeat themselves, or they'll use the better ear to try and listen. Okay. And then you basically get used to coping with your hearing loss. So you basically tell yourself that you're fine.
Or that, yeah, that you kind of, there's nothing wrong with me, it's someone else, and they're mumbling, they're whispering,
yes.
But meanwhile, it's myself. And are those your key focus points as to, listen, please go and get your ears tested, or just go and see if you're okay or not okay?
So if you kind of can relate with any of those things that I've mentioned, it's probably time to have your hearing tested.
I can think of many people. It's always us, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm going to send them your business cards. So please go to Linda.
Yes, yes.
Linda, and then obviously with COVID now, we're all wearing masks. I mean,
yes.
There are people that are deaf, you know, people lip read. What are the effects of masks on people with hearing impairments?
So, you know, I've had a lot of patients come in that before COVID would never ever have come in for a hearing test, just because they are struggling so much to understand speech while listening to someone that's wearing a mask. And the mask actually attenuates about 3 to 12 decibels in noise.
That's quite a lot.
From your speech ability. So if you have speech understanding ability, so if you have a very mild loss and someone is kind of turning down the volume through wearing a mask, you can't lip read anymore.
No, unfortunately.
So there's no hiding behind that. You can't use those visual cues to kind of understand what
And that must be so
what
stressful for
saying.
someone that's also too embarrassed to say, listen, you know, I can't hear you, but I need to read your lips, and I can't. It is embarrassing for someone that hasn't got that self-confidence as well.
So it's actually so funny because people take their mask off and say, sorry, what did you say? You know, it's just because they can't use those visual cues anymore.
one doesn't realize the effect, the roll-on effect it does have.
Yes.
And obviously medical aid.
Yes.
When clients come to you, probably have medical aid options for clients as well. So there really isn't an excuse for the elderly
Yes.
to possibly come
Yeah.
in and
Yeah,
get
you
the
know,
ears tested.
there's quite a stigma behind hearing aids, and that is, you know, first of all, when you get your hearing aid, you are old and there's something wrong with you. So that's so something that I
Yeah.
really feel passionate about, that we need to kind of throw out the door.
That's very true.
And the other thing is that hearing aids are extremely expensive, and that's really not the case. You know, yes, I do work with all the medical aids, and medical aids do have funds available or specific benefits available for hearing aids.
That's good to
And hearing aids can be affordable, you know. So, I also work with a lot of different options when it comes to affordability of your hearing aid.
But that's fantastic. So you aren't really pushed into a box and that's your option, that's what you've got to do.
No.
And then technology with regards to hearing aids. I'm sure that must have advanced. Like you said, people have a stigma about wearing a hearing aid.
Yes,
The
yes.
look, the feel, the technology. Tell us a bit more about how that technology has advanced over the years.
Yes, so hearing aids has literally gone from having this little wire around your neck with this big box to a tiny little device that goes in your ear. And, you know, the technology is just absolutely amazing. We can work with our phones and connect and stream them directly to our hearing aids.
Really? That is absolutely amazing.
Yes, and we can also do fine-tuning. For example, when you are in Cape Town and I'm in Ballito, I can literally log into the software, make changes on your hearing aids, send it back to you, and you just accept it, and we can do fine-tuning like that as
Can you
well.
believe it?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, I don't have a hearing. I would never have known that if you
Yes.
didn't tell me that.
Yes.
So there's so many benefits. I mean, there's no excuse then for you not to having a hearing aid. And I could check on possibly my mom and dad and sink their
Exactly.
ears in and say, listen, you are actually listening to me, or do you have your hearing aid? So there's no be lying whatever's happening in the ears
Exactly.
then.
Yeah, and you know, I always say we actually hear with our brain as well, and it's really important to have your hearing checked. It's so easy for us to go to the optometrist and we get, you know, really nice glasses, and that is acceptable.
Of course.
But when it comes to our hearing, we kind of, you know, we tend
Get
to
self-conscious about
be
it. almost and
self-conscious
push it.
about it.
So at what age should we come for our first hearing test?
So it's important, obviously, if you have a little one, to have their hearing tested. Where, you know, usually they do it at about grade R or double naught, around there. And then, you know, I strongly recommend that you have your hearing tested annually from the age of 45 and up.
So definitely from 45 and up.
Yes,
And I know
yes.
you don't really focus on children at all.
Yes.
But just if you could quickly, briefly discuss, just touch base on kids. You know, with audiology and kids, is it quite difficult to bring a child to you and put a hearing aid in? What are the first symptoms for a child?
So yeah, usually the teachers picks it up at school. You know,
Okay.
when they
Don't
see that
listen.
the child is struggling with their speech abilities.
So
and
that's your first key, is
yes.
the speech ability.
Yes, and the speech development and listening skills in general. So yeah, you know, like I said, we deprive the brain from stimulation when we don't stimulate our hearing and our ears, because when we can't hear, the hair cells in the inner ear can't stimulate the auditory nerve, and that in turn can't stimulate the brain. And then our brain needs to work really hard to focus on hearing, and then it kind of forgets about the other important stuff. So that's why they do link dementia and hearing loss to each other as well. Because
that's so
we are
interesting.
really taking away from that part of stimulation in the brain as well.
Geez, that is so interesting and so fascinating. I know I've learned a lot in this little slot that we've had, but Linda, thank you so much for being on the show. And I'm sure those viewers out there have also gained a lot of insight as to hearing. I mean, I didn't know the roll-on effect. I didn't know how it works.
Yes.
And for kids as well, the first little things to look for from school, from the teacher, please, moms and dads out there, be attentive. look at what your teachers are telling you. You know, your child probably doesn't have a problem, but you don't know where it's linked to at the end of the day, which is absolutely great.
Yes.
Thank you, Linda.
No,
Appreciate
pleasure.
having you in studio. We're going to go to a break, and I'm going to be enjoying my water from Phuza Water. Thank you, Phuza Water, for sponsoring us today. It's definitely most needed, and we are really grateful for our water here. After the break, we're going to have Zoe Sturgeon, who chats to Josh Philander.
Belito. I'm Tanya. I'm the lady from So It Seems, Benina in Belito. You can find us in Richard Park, right across from the Hirsch. The new shop. It's 3 times bigger than the old shop. We have lots more fabric, a lot more haberdashery items. If you can't sew, I will teach you how to sew. I have an additional teacher that helps us sew, and we have a fabulous space upstairs. Looking for a Benina machine or a Bennett? I will sort you out with that one. In this little area, we do everything. We service the sewing machine, we service the overlocker. We fix it up for you. Within a week, you'll have it back. While you go through the pattern books, we have a coffee shop in-house called Buttonless Coffee. You can have a coffee or a snack to eat while you do your pattern searching, fabric searching, or sewing upstairs with us. See you soon!
Welcome. My name is Zoe and I'm so happy to be back here again this Friday edition of the entertainment segment. Now, before I do anything, I would like to thank our sponsors for this segment, Diamond and Emerald. I love you guys madly. Now, before I pick the brain of our weekly entertainer, our musician, let's talk a little bit first about the music happening in our area, because the artists are back out again and they are gigging. We need to support them. So if you are in the Belito area at the Lifestyle Center, at the market today at 10 a.m., Nolan on piano will be starting us. In the afternoon, James Freedom will be starting us at 5:30. If you're looking for something a little different, around the corner at Eat Street, the Black Lapels will be in this afternoon. If you are at Hops enjoying the view of the beach, the very talented Johnny will be on at 3 p.m. this afternoon. If you are in the Salt Rock area at Yami Rib and Burger, Eston Lloyd will be entertaining us at 6 p.m. Always fantastic. And if you want somewhere fun to go, Caribou, Sheldon de St. Pern, one of the best entertainers, will be on at 5 p.m. Moving on to Saturday, Lifestyle Center again at the market. We have Nolan again at 10 a.m. If you just want some chilled piano, enjoying your late breakfast if you've slept in. And then Sheldon will be back on at lunchtime, and one of my favorite artists in the entire country, in the entire world, Rowan Stewart, in the afternoon. Around the corner on Eat Street, around lunchtime, we will have Sandy Lawrence, another one of my favorites, Hail Mary, in the afternoon. But Salt Rock direction at Caribou, Chuck Bowden, one of my artists that we had here recently, will be on at 5 p.m. at Caribou. Now, if you're looking for a Sunday fun day, starting at Lifestyle, again, we have the beautiful and talented Tara Blake on violin. She is phenomenal. She pretty much just wanders around the market and plays, and it's just incredible. At around lunchtime, Chuck Bowden, again, will be at the market around the corner at Eat Street, where they have every Sunday on Eat Street, they have a jazz artist, a jazz band, which is fantastic. And we have Quiet Storm at 1 to 4. If you're looking for something else, we have James Freedom, one of my friends, at Hops or Caribou. You can catch Sheldon again. So that is the entertainment for this weekend. Now, time to pick your brain, Josh. Welcome.
Yes. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And thank you for coming through so last minute. I know
pleasure.
I threw this one at you, chucking you in the deep end.
I'm telling you, it's
But,
absolutely.
I mean, that's what musicians are built for.
Exactly, we gotta just act on the moment.
Yes,
Yeah,
take the
definitely.
pressure, play it by ear, figure it out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
On the spot.
Yes, that's why I love what I do. I get to talk to people that are totally on the same page as
Yes,
me.
exactly.
That's fantastic.
thanks, man. Thanks
All
for
right,
having
now this is literally today's my first time meeting you,
Yeah.
which is unusual for people that I have on the couch with me. So I really would like to get to know you.
For
Tell
sure,
me
for
more
sure.
about. Are you from this area?
I'm not from Belito, I'm from Durban, from Durban North. Basically, I started working with Big Bear Entertainment. That's a little agency that we got going. I started with them towards December last year, and it's been kind of busy like throughout the year, but obviously with lockdown and everything, it's been a bit of a hiccup along the way.
No, it has. Musicians have suffered quite hard. We were
We
the first
have,
ones
we
to
have.
get shut down, the last ones to go.
Exactly.
And every time we go back to even level 3, we
Exactly,
get shut
yeah.
down. And we're only just getting back into it again. And speaking of, is it Big Bear Entertainment? I was lucky enough to have Don on the couch
Yes, of
with me a
course.
few weeks
my
ago.
good friend, Mr. Don Segan, he actually makes this couch look quite small.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
but I
absolutely
just
fantastic
absolutely
guy.
love him, such a big character. And that's
Yeah.
through Don that I got to meet you.
Of
So
course, yes,
I'm
yes.
so happy about
And it's
that.
also through Don that I've actually got to see all these new places, all these different restaurants and estates, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It's been such a ride.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
well, it's nice that we have someone on our back, on the side of the musicians.
sure,
So
for
that's
sure.
fantastic. Now let's talk about a little bit about what you are doing at the moment from a musical side.
Okay, so me personally, I'd like to try and make sure that everybody, you can't exactly please everybody, but you can try. So I try and just make sure that everybody's having a good time. I try not to narrow it down to one type of genre. I kind of put something out there for everybody. Let everybody enjoy it.
Yeah, I always tell people, especially if you're entertaining a vast amount of people, you might get one auntie in the corner that's complaining, but if you can
course.
keep 90% of the room happy,
Yes,
you're
yes,
doing
exactly.
well. And you might only get booked for 2 hours, but you have about 6 or 7 hours worth of material so that you're prepared for anything.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
think people realize what it takes to be prepared for anything. It takes a
course.
lot of time and it takes a lot of practice. And it's great that you have that flexibility.
No, for sure. I just try and put as much time as I can. As
That's
much.
fantastic. Well, what genres are you flexible? Do you have a specific favorite?
I'm probably the most flexible. If I can be honest with you, I just try and keep everybody happy. So you're looking at 70s, 80s, 90s to the music of today. Yeah,
That's
so
fantastic.
everything.
Okay, cool. So anyone can enjoy your music.
For sure, for sure.
That's
that's the
fantastic.
aim. That's the absolute aim.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, now in terms of your social medias, if people want to book you, now anyone watching and everyone in the studio, you are going to be singing for us, so
Yes,
they can
I am,
actually
yeah.
get a taster of you.
For
And I
sure.
heard your sound check this morning,
Yeah.
and I'm so excited.
Thanks so much. Thank you so
for,
much.
For anyone who wants to make contact with you to book you or to ask any questions, how do they find you, dear?
It's very, very, very simple. I try to make it as simple as possible. So it's Durban Josh. That's Durban as in the city, and Josh is in my name. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, all types of social media, YouTube if you want to check me out there as well. If you'd like to email me, you can email me at foreverjosh. That's 4EVA Josh @gmail.com.
Okay, phenomenal. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. And just before we close, do you have any gigs coming up in the next
Yes, I
couple
do.
of weeks that we need to know about?
Well, basically what we do is we work on a rotation. So every single week we probably get our dates, and then I'll post out where I'm going to be for that following week. So if you follow me on my Durban Josh page, you can find out where I'm going to be from there.
will.
Tonight I will be at Cotswold Downs in Hillcrest, and from there I'll just post on Durban Josh where I'm going to be.
That's exciting. Awesome. Well, you guys heard it. Phenomenal. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Super duper excited. Absolutely love that I get to meet more musicians. Absolutely
Sure.
love it. All right, now we are going to be moving right on to the weather and surf report with Heili Uys Deon. Thank you. I will see you next week.
Good morning everyone and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Belito Gas and Pride. Dis Vrydag en lekker warm, so al die gym junkies wat in hulle Mercs rondry en 'n video daarvan neem en op WhatsApp post. Vandag is die perfekte dag om uit jou kar uit te klim en te gaan vir 'n drafstappie langs die pad. Ons geniet dit om na julle te kyk. Onthou asseblief ook jou post-workout selfie dan. Today we have a high of 34 and a low of 18 degrees. The real feel will be 35 degrees and the real feel shade 32 degrees. We have a northeasterly wind at 15 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 28 kilometers per hour. Also 0% chance of showers. The sunrise will be at 6:09 a.m. and the sunset at 5:42 p.m. Saturday we have a high of 24 degrees and a low of 18 degrees, and Sunday a high of 35 degrees and a low of 18 degrees. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by 10/10 skryfbehoeftes and Dion Bosman from Victory Surf. We'll see you on Monday.
Good morning, Belito, and welcome to Friday morning's beach report and an overview for the waves for the weekend. What a beautiful day it's going to be today. It's just light, variable easterly breezes today, but it's going to turn into a big offshore later this afternoon, which is going to set us up for a wonderful weekend of waves. Some lovely 3-4 feet waves for the whole of the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, with light, variable northwest and southwest breezes and lots of surf on all the beaches. So 29 degrees expected today, so beautiful beach day. Lucky for the guys who are on holiday this long weekend, and it's going to be a lovely long weekend for a lot of the guys from up the coast and inland. So enjoy your beaches today. Lovely breezes, but late afternoon the westerly comes through and gives us a good shunt in the afternoon. So that'll set us up, as I said, for a lovely Saturday and Sunday surf session, light offshore breezes and really, really good surf. Enjoy your weekend. It's going to be a cracker day in Belito today, and enjoy the weekend ahead.
Morning sports fans, let's kick it off with some football news, and more specifically the World Cup qualifiers in focus. And England eased to a comfortable 4-0 win over Hungary at the Puskas Arena on Thursday to move 5 points clear at the top of World Cup qualifying Group I. It was a miserable night for Hungary on the field, and the country's football federation is likely to face FIFA investigation after crowd misbehaviour and reports of racial abuse of two of England's black players. England showed no signs of a hangover from the Euro 2020 final defeat to Italy, with an excellent second half display from Gareth Southgate's side. Also Bafana in World Cup qualifying action today, a bit later at 3 p.m. They go away to Zimbabwe. Moving to some Premier League news, and probably the worst kept secret, Cristiano Ronaldo will wear Manchester United's famous number 7 jersey once again, following his return to Old Trafford. The Premier League club said on Thursday the 36-year-old Portuguese forward spent 6 seasons at United between 2003 and 2009, winning 8 major trophies, and he rejoined them this week from Juventus on a 2-year deal. Ronaldo donned the number 7 shirt during his first stint at the club, following in the footsteps of great United players including George Best, Brian Robson, Eric Cantona and David Beckham. Moving to some rugby news now, and the Cell C Sharks coach Sean Everett has opted for continuity as he made just 2 changes to the starting team for Saturday's Carling Currie Cup semi-final clash against the Tafellager Griquas at Johnson Kings Park. The Sharks were outplayed by DHL Western Province in their final league outing last weekend, but by keeping that unit pretty much intact, Everett is clearly taking into account that there was nothing much riding on the game for his side, while Western Province were in desperate mood as they came to Durban in search of 5 log points. They needed to make the playoffs. Full round of fixtures this evening at 7 p.m. The first semi-final to the Bulls against Western Province, and as mentioned, Sharks tackle Griquas tomorrow at 5 p.m. Moving to some cricket news now, and a victory target of 301 proved too much for the brave South African run chase, with Aiden Markram on 96 and Rassie van der Dussen making 59, played valiant roles in their opening ODI match against Sri Lanka at our Premadasa Stadium in Colombo on Thursday. In the end, Avishka Fernando's superb 118 for Sri Lanka and some excellent death bowling by their pace bowlers proved just enough for the home team, as they ran out winners by 14 runs in an entertaining, high-scoring quality match which saw 586 runs scored. In other cricket headlines, good news for the Proteas women as they cruised to a 50-run win over the Windies and recalled Takir and Yadav star as India tackle England. Moving to some Tokyo Paralympic news, and South African Paralympic icon Ertz van Dijk wrapped up his 8th Paralympic appearance at the Fuji International Speedway just outside Tokyo on Wednesday, heading into the H5 cycling road race as defending champion, and 8th place was not the finish he was hoping for, but he hasn't ruled out an appearance in the 9th Olympic Games in Paris in 3 years' time. Moving to some golf news now, and Patrick Cantlay's 3 under par 67 kept him 2 strokes clear of the hard-charging world number 1 John Rahm on Thursday in the first round of the US PGA Tour Championship. Cantley was stacked in a 2-stroke lead at 10 under par, and a staggering start system for the season finale after topping the Tour Championship standings thanks to his playoff win over Bryson DeChambeau in the BMW Championship last Sunday. His 4 birdies on the day included a chip-in on the 3rd and a 2-putt birdie from 54 feet on the fringe on the par 5 18th at Eastlake in Atlanta, Georgia. Moving to some tennis news now, and the US Open in full swing as well, as Tokyo Olympic champion Alexander Zverev and top-ranked Ashley Barty rolled into the 3rd round of the US Open on Thursday, while New York struggled to recover from a deadly storm and flash flooding, with abandoned cars scattered across the streets near the National Tennis Center and many highways shut down. Fewer spectators than normal watched in the Arthur Ashe Stadium, as Australian Barty dispatched Danish teen Clara Tauson 6-1 and 7-5, and the German 4th seed Zverev ripped 33-ranked Spanish left-hander Albert Ramos Vinolas 6-1, 6-love and 6-3. And finally, in some motorsport news, and more specifically F1, and 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton praised George Russell on Thursday and said he would be happy to have him as his Formula One teammate for next season. Mercedes' decision, the 23-year-old Briton is expected to move to Williams to join the compatriot Hamilton for the 2022 in place of Finland's Valtteri Bottas. Russell's, whose career has been managed by Mercedes, told reporters at Zandvoort ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix that he knew where he would be racing next year, and he had been informed at last weekend's race in Belgium. I'm at Williams for Good Morning North Coast Sport. You have yourself an awesome sporting weekend, and we'll catch you back here on Monday.
ground, not capsuled. Coffee pleasure from Euro.
Hi guys, Jason here from Chapman Building. Looking forward to introducing a new 13-episode series called Under Construction with Chapman Building. We will be covering various aspects of the building industry and our business to educate and help Ballito residents understand more about the building industry.
At 1018 Skryfbehoeftes Ballito, we offer an array of convenience services for our clients. Our friendly team will take care of your orders, from picking to packing and arranging them for your office. We offer delivery to businesses along the North Coast to Richards Bay to help you save even more time. Proudly Ballito.
Welcome back to our Good Morning North Coast show on Ballito TV. Just want to say a special thanks to all our guests that joined us this morning. We really enjoyed having you in. Thank you for all the comments, all the likes, and all the following on Facebook and all on our other social media platforms. We greatly appreciate your support. It's Fri-Yay, and Josh is going to take us off into the weekend with his musical showcase. Josh, over to you. Keep well.
Here's a little favorite, it goes like this. I tried to discover a little something to make me sweeter. Baby, refrain from breaking my heart. I'm so in love with you, I'll be forever blue. What religion or reason to drive the man to forsake his mother? Don't you tell me no, don't you tell me no, don't you tell me no, don't you tell me no. So I hear you calling, oh baby, please give a little respect to me. And if I should falter, oh, would you open your arms out to me? We can make love, not war, and live in peace with our hearts. I'm so in love with you, I'll be forever blue. What religion or reason to drive the man to forsake his mother? Don't you tell me no, don't you tell me no, don't you tell me no, don't you tell me no. So I hear you calling, oh baby, please give a little respect to me. I'm so in love with you. I'll be forever blue. That you give me no reason why you making me work so hard. That you give me no, that you give me no, that you give me no, that you give me no. So I hear you calling, oh baby. Thank you very much.